build up your confidence, and then charge a fee. Secure the bag. Just get your foot in the door, sis. If they ain't writing no check, I ain't going nowhere. What's up? It's your girl, Janae Emily Utley, holistic lifestyle maven, possibility trainer, and founder of The Fitness Gym. Welcome back to the channel of possibilities. So over the last few weeks, I've really felt a push that God wanted me to talk about money and finances. And yesterday, the day before yesterday, I felt this really, really heavy, almost burden to talk about money as it relates to sisterhood. So I have been building businesses and brands since 2013. So I have had my fair share of practice as it relates to negotiating fees for things that I'm involved in, whether it's getting new clients, new programs, speaking engagements, all of that. I have had my fair share of practice with trying to figure out how much I'm going to charge for something, or if I'm going to do something pro bono for free. Now, since we are talking about money, we are talking about finances, and more specifically, we're talking about money in the realm of like collaboration, sisterhood, and partnership, I do need to first say that money in and of itself is not bad. The Bible does not say that money is bad. The Bible says that the love of money is bad. Meaning, if you are to the point where you're going to do something that is perverted, that is immoral, that is illegal, that is against the will of God, and more specifically against the will of God for your life, then it's bad. If you are to the point where you will do anything to get some money, anything to secure the bag, you will forsake your brother, you will forsake your mom, like that is bad. When you're to the point where you're so materialistic that you care more about things than you care about people and relationships, that is the issue. When you care more about money than you care about the things of God, that's where the issue lies. So money in itself isn't bad because it funds a lot of things. It pays for a lot of things. It's one of those things that it's only good or bad depending on whose hands it's in and what they choose to do with it. Now, as it relates to making money, charging fees, or doing things for free, as it relates to like partnerships and sisterhood, there are two schools of thought. Build up your confidence and then charge a fee. Secure the bag. You will be out of line for trying to charge for something that God has gifted you with. If they ain't writing no check, I ain't going nowhere. Just get your foot in the door, sis. Don't worry about the money. The money will come. Just get your foot in the door. Give me my money. This will be great exposure for you. This will be great exposure for your brand. Just do it. I don't do nothing for free. So in a sense, you understand kind of where the two schools are. And since I've been doing this, I've had my fair share of confusion, of doubt, not knowing what to do, not knowing what to charge, not knowing what to do something for free, pro bono, or to charge for. So with what appears to be sound advice on both sides, I'm going to share with you a surefire way to know if you need to do something for free or if you need to charge a fee. And that is, take that thing to God. Take it to God. Now, if you struggle to talk to God or struggle to hear from God, don't worry. I have a podcast where I talk about that, and I will link it in the description box below. But me taking every single opportunity that I have gotten to God really has been a game changer for me. Because before that, like I said, I was all over the place. I would do something and charge a fee and feel guilty, and then I would do something for free and feel guilty and really be mad at myself because I was giving from a place of scarcity. Now, here's the thing about that. You don't necessarily give expecting something in return. So you don't give to get, But as it relates to this, you shouldn't be giving from an empty well. You shouldn't be giving from scarcity either, because that leaves you in almost this debilitated state. Now, God wants us to be in community with each other. So when you pour out into something, that something or someone then in turn pours into you. So now God will honor the sacrifice that you make, but we all know that obedience is better than sacrifice. So when you're trying to figure out what to do, take it to God. And if God tells you to give whatever it is that you're doing, product, service, speaking engagement, taking on new clients, if he tells you to give it for free, give it cheerfully. Give it in abundance and give it swiftly. And if he tells you to charge a fee for something, charge that fee cheerfully, without guilt, and boldly. Now, one thing that comes up in this conversation that, in my opinion, is absolutely a disgrace and disgusting is people who emotionally blackmail, hijack, and manipulate you into doing something for free. And when you don't, you are said to be anti-sisterhood or even anti-Christian. I think that is absolutely disgusting. I think that is something that should be looked down upon and should be frowned upon. And I'm going to tell you three reasons why I believe this is so. But before that, let me just say something really quickly. As a woman entrepreneur, I have invested in myself. I have spent time, money, energy, and effort to get to the point that I am at now. Like, I've truly invested in myself, thousands of dollars that I did not have, studying for hours, years of education, just time that I won't get back, frustration, tears, moments that I just will not get back. I've invested in myself, and I'm no longer giving my talents, giving my skills, giving my abilities away for free all of the time, especially in the context of when someone is trying to manipulate me to do something that they want me to do for free. Because I've gotten to the point where I value myself. I truly value myself. I value my time, and I value my experiences. And in turn, like I said before, I have put my money where my mouth is. Things that I have valued, things that I felt like could help me or could benefit me, I have paid for them outright, no discount, because I believed in what it is that I was buying. It was an exchange of value. I gave monetary value for something that I felt like was going to help me spiritually, help me physically, help me mentally, help me advance in business, help me advance in my career, so on and so forth. So because I have invested so much in myself, and because I have invested so much in other people, in the things that they offer, it's really hard for me to accept less than that. Less than people valuing me and investing in me. And that has been a process. I had to learn to accept that without feeling guilty. I had to learn how to accept that just as easily as I will pay the next person to give me something that I feel like is valuable, I need to be just as quick and easy and accepting for someone to pour into me, someone to invest into me without feeling guilty about it. Point blank, period. So I have seen far too many women who stand on this hypothetical podium and preach the gospel of, if you're not doing it for free, you're not down for the cause and you're not down for the sisterhood. And this could be farther from the truth. And it's built upon deception, control, manipulation, and lies. And I'm just not here for it. Not no more. Now I'm going to reiterate. If it's something that God tells you to do either way, that's what you do. If God tells you to do it for free, baby girl, for free it's going to be. If it's a fee that's going to be. Point blank, period. But the manipulation of it all, that has to stop. And the three reasons why I feel like this is just unacceptable. One is because of the funding kingdom initiatives. Okay, Janae, just keep it quick. Keep it quick. This is really something I could go on and on and on about, but I'm gonna try to keep it brief. When it comes to kingdom initiatives, kingdom businesses, churches, things for the believers, we should not be in a lack mentality. We should not be in a poverty mindset. We should not be living below in poverty and living less. But when it comes to us, we like to undercut, undervalue, and discount what we do. And we expect to get everything for the low or for free. And it's not supposed to be like that. We'll go out into the world. We'll go out into secular markets and pay this like nothing. Like nothing. We'll get a Gucci bag. We'll get a Louis bag. We'll get a car. We'll get our nails done. We'll get our hair. Boom. Like nothing. We'll pay full price for a bag of virgin. I ain't wore weave in so long. Malaysian hair. I don't know if that's the thing. Whatever. Just roll with me. Like nothing. But when it comes to sisterhood, when it comes to Christianity, when it comes to us, we want to undervalue and underpay each other. And it shouldn't be like that. Why? Because our money is supposed to be the money that's pushing culture forward. But because we're undercutting each other and paying everybody else full price, we're living in lack, looking at each other like, can you help me out? Well, can you help me out? And it's not supposed to be like that. Which is one reason, again, that manipulation has got to stop for doing stuff free. Because I'm supposed to pay you full price of what you're worth, so you can pay the next sister full price what she worth, so then she can do the same thing, and she can do the same thing, and he can do the same thing, so it comes full circle. So when it's time for somebody to pay me, I get my full due. We're supposed to be pushing the kingdom forward. We're supposed to be funding the kingdom and kingdom initiative. So that's one reason I'm just like, against that manipulation thing. Second point is sow and reap. You're never going to reap what it is that you don't sow. It's so many people out here looking for a financial blessing, but ain't sold no type of financial seed. How are you looking to start a brand and be a blogger and a vlogger, and you want all of these businesses and companies to send you all of this stuff for free, when you ain't even invested in the companies that you want to send you stuff? How you even know if you're gonna like it? Like, it's a particular toothpaste that I like. It's a particular toothbrush that I enjoy. It's particular products that I love to keep around my house. A certain essential oil diffusers and essential oil. So if those companies were to reach out to me, oh, baby, I done already invested in them. Okay. So how are you expecting to reap a harvest of a seed you ain't planted? I don't know how. Third point is, when you go around always expecting stuff for free and manipulating people and women to do stuff for free because you're trying to make them feel bad like they're not a part of the sisterhood. When you do that, sometimes you rob God of a chance to do some things that he's trying to do in your life. There are potentially demonic stronghold, demonic money stories that you are holding on to. And when you don't charge a fee, or you are manipulated to do something for free, you enable said person to stay in this sunken place because God ain't been able to work through them, because everything that they didn't got, they didn't scrump for, they didn't manipulate it, they controlled, and God can't help them like that, because you're enabling them to keep doing that. Now, those are the three reasons why that whole that culture of you ain't down for the cause, if you ain't doing it for free and we supposed to be helping each other out. Ugh. Those are just 3, because I can go on and on and on for days concerning this. But those are just 3 reasons why we got to shut that down. We got to shut that down. Especially if God told us to charge for something and somebody is trying to manipulate you to do it for free. Nope. No, thank you. I'm cool. I'm straight. Now, what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to sit up here all high and mighty and act like I wasn't once the girl who wanted everything for a discount, who wanted it for cheap, and who wanted it for free. But when I started investing in myself and investing in programs and started being in groups with money women who were investing in themselves, people were investing in them, I saw the Christian principles lived out in their life. I saw how they were sowing and reaping. I saw how they were I saw how they were charging and how it was really truly an exchange of value. This is something that I want. This is something that you want. Let's meet in the middle and let that be what the sisterhood looks like. So fast forward and I get to this point where I have some knowledge and I have some understanding. And when people will come to me, I was in this stage where I would be insulted that people would ask me to do stuff and want me to do it for free, because I'm like, do you not realize how hard it was for me to get to this point? How many lessons I had to learn, how much struggle I had to endure, how much I had to invest in myself personally, and you just want me to give this out for free? Houseway. But as I have continued to mature and continue to grow, I have learned to not take any of that personally, because it has nothing to do with me. I realized that a number of things may be going on. One, they might not truly understand the value that I'm bringing. They might truly not understand what it is that I do, what it is that I give, and how special it is, because they have not maybe even invested in themselves that much. So how could I expect someone to understand the value that I bring and invest in me when they themselves don't invest in themselves? Or it could be that they are just unwilling to take the risk really on themselves, because it is risky business to put your money out there, That's risky. So they're unwilling to take the risk, or they don't have the funds, so they don't have the funds or are not willing to do what it takes to earn or raise the money that it would take to pay my fee. And like I said, I have learned to not let any of that affect me. I'm not taking that personally. Not at all. Not at all. Because they used to stress me out and they used to hurt my feelings. But it doesn't anymore. We're all people. We all have a journey. We all have a story. And I'm here and you're there. And that's okay. It's just different. I got to keep moving on. I can't spend any more emotional energy trying to figure out why you don't want to do this, why you don't have this, why you don't want to pay me. It's just not worth my emotional energy anymore. Now, to close this sisterhood money manipulation conversation up and to bring a point that I brought up earlier back full circle, is that sometimes, not all the time, sometimes when you have women who are trying to manipulate you to do something for free, their selling points will be to get your foot in the door, to practice, or most often exposure. Now, I'm gonna say this. I said it at the beginning, I'm gonna say it now, and I'm gonna say it one more time at the end. This is why you have to seek God and ask God what you want, what He wants you to do. Because exposure can be a blessing in the right time, in the right season, and when God tells you to go forth and do whatever. But when it ain't, that exposure don't mean a hill of beans. Not a hill of beans. Since I've been in this business, entrepreneurship, blogging, vlogging, branding space, I have seen this firsthand. I have seen accounts with 5,000 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers, 50,000 subscribers, out-expose and outperform accounts with 100,000 subscribers, 200,000 subscribers, 300,000 subscribers for varying reasons. So all exposure ain't the right exposure for you, and all exposure does not translate well. And let me tell you a little bit about that. So when I first started out, I was doing a lot of stuff for free, just to get my foot in the door, for exposure, to practice. And don't get me wrong, that absolutely has a time and season, but that needs to be in God's time, in God's season. So you have to ask him about it. Because I was doing a lot of stuff out of order and out of line, doing a lot of stuff for free when I wasn't supposed to be. And I'm going to come back to that in a second. But I was doing so much for the free, for the exposure, and it wasn't translating well. Because the space that I am in, this holistic space, this godly space, living this life, living your best life, manifesting the promises of God, eating better, living better, having a sustainable life, it requires work. Work that is frustrating because you have to reset mindsets. Because you have to reset taste buds, because you have to work, because you have to sweat. It requires crying. It requires work. And it's work that not everybody is ready or willing to do. Me potentially partnering with clients or businesses or other brands that have a service that is an immediate gratification type of thing, that exposure might not translate over well. For example, let's say I was to partner with an author who was doing an event, right? And the event was a sold out event. And at this event, the author sold all the copies of her book that she had at the event. Now, just because I go to her event and I speak at her event, and her event is a smash hit, everything, all her stuff is sold out, all the tickets are sold out, does not mean that's going to translate over to me financially. Because you go to an event and you immediately feel an uprising, you immediately feel an uplift. That's an immediate gratification, an immediate exchange of value. Somebody puts money down on a book. They get the book back. They can read the book instantly. That's immediate gratification. With me, it might take a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks for us to sit down and do some possibility coaching, or for us to get together and do a detox program, or for us to get together and do a whole life reset. You might not be willing, or the person at the event might not be willing to put down $59, $197, $497. They might not be so eager to put that amount of money down, especially when it's not instant gratification. So that's why I'm saying that all exposure isn't created equal, and all exposure might not translate over well to the business that you have. So I learned the hard way that I had to stop doing stuff for the exposure, because when my bills were due, let me backtrack. At the worst of it for me, I'm talking about the toughest part for me financially. Almost all my credit cards were maxed out. My bank account was consistently in the red. My student loans were in deferment. I was behind on my car note. I can remember waking up one day, looking out the window, hoping my car was still out there, like the folks ain't came and got my car and repossessed my car. My phone, like every other month, I'm battling to pay my phone bills to keep my phone on, and like just other bills that I'm responsible for that I'm trying to figure it all out. And even in that time of like that hard struggle, I can remember just still leaning and dependent on God to show me how to strategize, show me the stuff that I needed to work on in here to get it right. And I was still making investments in myself. And all the while I'm doing that, I'm still picking up clients who don't want to pay me. Going to events and they don't want to pay me. I'm just going, hoping that the exposure some kind of way, hoping and praying that it was going to work out. But when them bills came up, when it's time to pay that phone bill, that exposure didn't mean a hill of beans. It didn't do a hill of beans for me because I did not ask God the proper thing to do and how to do it. So ultimately, that still falls back on me. But I say all that to say, when it comes to figuring out this money stuff, figuring out, do you charge a fee or don't you charge a fee? The answer is always take it to God. Because God could have it set up that he just needs your face in the place at a particular event, or he needs you to take on a specific client because later down the line they're going to introduce you to somebody who then introduces you to somebody who writes you the biggest check that you've ever seen in your life. Or you charge a fee for something, and that money that you get, you are able to put in some type of investment account that's going to triple and double in the next 12 months, that's going to set you up to have the house of your dreams. Like, this thing is so critical and it is so crucial, and it is not one size fits all. Yes, you need to have a plan. Yes, you need to have a fee scale. Yes, you need to have stuff set up and laid out. Yes. But you have to be flexible enough, spiritually mature enough to then go to God and say, okay, God, what's up? What we doing here? The last thing that I want to say before I close out is, in me saying all of this, I don't want anyone to take what I'm saying personally. I consistently have things in my inbox where people want me to take them on as clients, where people want me to go somewhere, be involved in something, partner with them in something, speak somewhere, be a panelist somewhere, or create a program, some type of, like, I'm always consistently getting different requests in my inbox. And this is something that honestly has been going on since 2013. So I don't want anyone to watch this and feel like I'm directly speaking to you, because I'm not. Because as I said, I take most of my opportunities these days straight to God, and I really just do what God wants me to do. And I'm not here to upset anyone or offend anyone, but I am here to call those of you out who use manipulation, which really is you're operating in witchcraft, to manipulate people to do stuff for free, and you try to guilt them into doing stuff for free when that ain't what God wants them to do. So I will be having more talks around the topic of money and finances and fees and charging your worth, charging your value, setting up pricing structures, money and investing as it relates to business, all of that, which makes me uncomfortable, because part of me is like, God, you sure you want me to talk about it? And he's like, okay, yes, I do. So all I can do in this season is be obedient and talk about the things that he wants me to talk about, because part of me was a little hesitant. Let me just be honest. Part of me was a little hesitant because I don't have it all figured out yet. But I'm seeing that I don't have to have it all figured out, that I have figured out a lot of things. And so the things that I have figured out, I definitely want to share, and the things that I have not figured out, that we really can do it together. We can learn together and we can grow together, which is really fun for me. And what I'm noticing is really fun for those of you guys in the community, especially those who have went through the detoxes that I've had. It's just fun to do it in community and have that kind of accountability. So you definitely will be seeing more around that as God keeps bothering me to do so. Last thing, if you have not signed up for my newsletter, click right here and go ahead and sign up for the newsletter, because the girls, my chicks on my newsletter, they are the first to hear about everything, and sometimes they are the only ones to hear about certain things, like the fact that I am launching again the Accomplished Woman, and the Accomplished Woman is now a 7-week program where we are going to talk more about money, and we're really going to dive into it. It's a small group coaching program that lasts 7 weeks, and we're going to talk about finances. We're going to talk about forgiveness. We're going to talk about focus. We're going to talk about business. We're going to talk about investing wisely. We're going to talk about all this stuff to really help my girls, my women, shift out of like a lack life to a manifesting God's best life. So they already know about it, and I'm only opening this program up right now. In my mind, the number that I see is 12. So I'm only going to open this program up to 12 women, and so they're going to be the first to know about it. And if that's something that's interesting to you, click the link, join the newsletter, so you'll be the first to hear about it, because it would be a shame for those spots to fill up super fast just from the women on my newsletter before I even get an opportunity to tell my YouTube family or my Instagram family or my Facebook family, so on and so forth. So I know that was a lot. So, digest it, listen to it in segments, listen to it multiple times, sit down, write some notes, hit your girl up in the comments, and let's talk about it. So that's all I have for now. Woo! Until next time, bye. Be blessed.